All right, I am back. Let's see if this works better. Can you guys let me know? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to get in here. Sorry, I had some internet. I actually changed my computer. I'm using a different laptop now. So let me know when you come back in. Let me know when you see me. Let me know that the picture is okay, that I'm not freezing every 2 seconds. All right. Yes. Perfect. All right. Cool. Say hi again. I'm so sorry about that. Good thing I'm not teaching you guys about technology. Okay. So I'm going to start over. So I apologize if this is a repeat, but I don't want anything to be missed. So, all right. Day 4. Repeat. Next try. All right. Again, congratulations on making this far. You decided to do what it's going to take to improve your marriage, to improve your relationship, to improve communication and connection in your marriage, and you took action, and you've taken action every day. If you haven't watched all the videos, it's cool, it's fine. You have until next Friday, and then I'll be taking them down. Oh, good. Everything's good. Awesome. All right. So make sure, go back and watch the videos, Netflix style binge on them. Go back and watch them a second time, because sometimes our brain, as our brain is growing and transforming and learning different things, now it might be ready to hear something differently. So you might have gotten to this point and listened to these videos, and you might go back to day 1 and it might hit you differently. Because our brain is changing as we're going through this. How cool is that? So, awesome. In day 1, you discovered some beliefs that might be holding you back. In day 2, you discovered the broken pattern or your disconnection cycle. In day 3, you started to understand why the cycle happens. You uncovered the feelings, emotions, and needs that underlie, right? And that is really, this starts to become the key to intimacy, to feeling what your partner may be feeling, to understand what's going on, because intimacy, remember, is in to me see. So the more you know about why you're doing the things you're doing, how the trauma is triggering you maybe from the past, how that inner child, that child brain is sneaking up on you, and the more you understand where it's coming from your partner, the more you can connect, the more you get to be more vulnerable and intimate with each other and understand each other in a very different way. So, and then today you created a plan to break the disconnection cycle and create your own connection cycle, right? So it's pretty easy. The pattern reversal. You look at your pattern, you decide which part of that pattern am I going to stop doing. If I generally withdraw, how am I going to stay? How am I going to stay in that moment? How am I going to stay with my partner in that moment? I remember, I don't know if I talked about this a lot or not, but you remember how I told you I'm a runner, right? That was my childhood pattern. I don't like what you're saying. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like what I'm feeling. I don't like what meaning I'm making up about this. So peace out. And I started to understand. My husband told me one night, he's like, you know what? When you do that, I feel so abandoned. I feel like you are just leaving me. And it sucks. He's like, I know you're going to come back, but that feeling isn't good. It's like you just can't be with me. You can't hang here with me. Yeah. So I didn't realize I was doing that. That's how I was making him feel. So I stopped. I had to sit in it sometimes. Always with boundaries. Always in a respectful place. But I sat with it sometimes, and I tried to hear what was really going on, see when his inner child was coming out, offer compassion for those moments. And that's when we really started to be able to connect and communicate. And our arguments didn't end up in huge blowouts anymore. They started ending in communication and connection and intimacy and love, and making our love stronger. We were getting through more together. Another thing, I started to say this, so if you, it's nice to kind of know why we do things, right? If you get a rash, what I was saying before, if you get a rash and you go on Google and you start looking up or WebMD, what's this rash? And you get like the most horrendous thing, like it's elephantitis, it's leprosy, your skin's gonna fall off, and you start freaking out and you're like, oh, there's something wrong with me, there's something, I'm gonna die, there's a disease that, you do all these things, and then you go to the doctors finally and they're like, oh, just change your laundry detergent. That's it. Put some of this calamine lotion on it. You're good. And it goes away and you're like, oh, whew. So it's good to understand. It's good to understand the why behind why we're doing things, why we're showing up, why our partners are showing up in a certain way. How good does that feel, just understanding that, changing that perspective, right? Okay. Let me know. Does it feel good to understand that a little bit? So I do want to address a couple of things real quick before we dive into today's lesson. I received a really good comment, and it said, I feel like you're just telling us to change our thinking to accept what's going on in the relationship. And I'm so glad this question was asked, because I like to be challenged, and I want you to leave this challenge, leave these 5 days, and we'll do some bonus stuff next week, I imagine. But I want you to leave this with knowing deep in your heart what to do. And if you have questions about it, if you're not sure it's going to work, if there's beliefs that are pounding against what I'm telling you, then you're not going to do it and there's not going to be any change. So I need you to ask me these questions. I need you to call me out. My feelings don't get hurt. I've been doing this for 20 years. If I need to change my perspective, I will. Or I can maybe help you to change your perspective or understand where that belief is coming from that might be blocking or sabotaging something. So let me know. So yeah, I am asking you to change your perspective because what we focus on is what we get. And once we start to focus on what we want, start to focus on our desires and our needs, and start to give a little gratitude for what we already have, it helps us to have empathy for ourselves and for our partner, to understand where they're coming from. And this is how true intimacy is created. And I want to look at your patterns so you can start to break the patterns, because that's how you create change. If you've been doing these same patterns that have gotten you here right now, we need to break this. We need to stop doing those. So if you have this question, you're like, oh, well, that's not how I do things. Well, okay, perfect. It's not how you do things, and how you've been doing things got you here. So let's do them differently, right? Let's break that belief that's keeping you stuck in that pattern. Because if you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same results. And we have to be nuanced about this. We have to understand there are right ways to do things. There are very right ways to do things in a relationship. One thing is going to get you stuck in a pattern of disconnection. One thing is going to get you stuck in connection. And sometimes it's just a word or two, or it's a feeling. It's a different intention that you're coming from. And, I will never, ever, ever tell you to accept bad behavior from your partner. You must decide what you're willing to deal with and what you're going to accept. Because if you continue to accept bad behavior from others, you'll continue to get it if you don't set boundaries around it. This is about setting healthy, strong boundaries. And you can only do that when you have a strong, healthy level of self-love, when you become love. This is why I concentrate so much on self-esteem, on boundaries in my programs and coaching, because this is a 5-day challenge based on communication, and relationships are layered. So we can't hit everything. And people do boundaries so wrong. They kind of say I don't like what you're doing, so screw you. Instead, we can handle it in such a different way, where we teach people to love us, where we teach people how to treat us, and we can do it in a clear and a kind way, instead of just cutting people out like the cancel culture that we've been taught and we've been seeing everywhere these days. So we're going to get a little bit more into boundaries tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit more about boundaries tomorrow, but it's a big topic, and it comes with a lot of different nuances and practices. And there's psychological boundaries, there's emotional boundaries, there's physical boundaries, there's sexual boundaries, there's a lot of things. So we're going to cover it a little bit, but sometimes I don't want to give you just enough information that you can mess it up, right? Because that can be dangerous. So I make sure whatever I talk about in these shorter workshops or challenges, it's enough information so that you can get it right and do it right the first time, and that it can't be messed up. All right. And if you, but in my larger programs, in my group programs, I dig into it deeper. I make it, transformational for you. So let's do our mantra together. Okay. Oh, one more thing about that. My goal in your relationship, my goal for you, my hope for you, what gets me excited for you is that you get to stand toe to toe with your partner. You feel supported, your partner feels supported. You feel loved, your partner feels loved. You get a voice, your partner gets a voice. You get to be partners, not one above the other, not one below other, but partners, but lovers, but passionate friends, best friends, lifelong partners, forever journey, right? You get to stand toe to toe together. That is what I want for you. It's never about being less than, or going back to the 50s and being subservient. It's not about that. It's not about carrying everyone else's weight. It's about saying, hey, let's do this together. Okay? So let's do the mantra. You guys ready? I choose. Oh, I'll put it in the chat so y'all have it. And I also put a little screen together. Okay. Bonnie, let's do this mantra. I'm going to come back to you. I choose love over hate, hope over fear, grace over judgment, responsibility for my life over blame for my circumstances. Responsibility for my life over blame for my circumstances. Curiosity over knowing. Loving myself so deeply others know how to do it. Healthy boundaries, love and understanding of others. Bonnie, I'm going to go back to you and ask you, when your husband doesn't want to, what was the key thing I repeated there? Responsibility for my life over blame for circumstances. Okay, your husband doesn't want to. Does that mean that you don't show up with love? Does that mean that you don't set healthy boundaries? Does that mean that you stop trying to be the best version of yourself? Does that mean that you stop growing your relational skills? Does that mean that you stop healing? Does that mean that you stop trying to understand your partner? Does that mean that what does that mean? My partner doesn't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it either. What does that mean? If we stay stuck in that place, my partner won't do it, 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 we won't do it either. Okay. And that's okay. That's okay. We get to stay exactly where we are. And if that's where you want to stay, that's fine. I'm not going to force you to change or do anything that you don't want to do. I'm asking you to stand in your own love and your own power, to empower yourself to create change. And again, 90% of the time, you'll be able to reach back and say, hey, come with me. And they will. They'll start to see that change in you. And they'll start to change as well, whether they want to or not right now. All right? Yeah, it is disappointing. Things are disappointing. We talked about that in day one. Go back and listen to that. Day one about disappointment. Disappointment. We avoid things because we don't want to be disappointed. We don't do things because we don't want to get disappointed. I don't remember if it was day one or day two. One of those things, we talked about that, right? It is disappointing. But you know what? It's a feeling. And we can move past feelings. And that leads us into the emotions, right? That we're going to talk about today. So, essentially, you're changing. What I asked you to do is start changing one part of the cycle, which will completely change the whole cycle. This is the magical pattern reversal technique. Choosing how to act differently is the easy part, right? You get to say, okay, I'm not going to get angry anymore. That's the part of the cycle. Oh, I'm not going to withdraw anymore. That's the part of the cycle I'm going to break, right? But the big thing that most programs, even therapists, books miss is there's something that keeps us from changing this cycle. It's our emotions. It's our emotions, our triggers that keep us from actually changing. So I talked about kind of 3 layers of emotions. There's the thought-led emotion. These are a consequence of our thoughts. For example, if you believe or think your husband is a jerk or wrong or won't try anything or has given up, then your emotions will be anger, hurt, or sadness, right? The thought equals the emotion. Beliefs, thoughts, emotions, behaviors. We do things because of our emotions. We're led by our emotions. Okay? And the fix for this is we start to rewire our thoughts. Now, this is cognitive behavioral therapy. It's the slow way, but it works. And then there's also emotional regulation priming, which I'll get into in a second, which is a little bit faster, changes things a little bit different for you. Then we have the second type of emotion, the protective habitual emotion. Let me go back to the thought-led emotion. Often we get stuck in a spiral too with these emotions. The thought plus the feeling equals a new thought equals a new feeling equals a new thought equals a different feeling. It's like compound interest, but it's compound emotion. So my husband's a jerk. That makes me really angry. Oh, I shouldn't be angry. Next thought. So that makes me feel shameful. I shouldn't be shameful. I should be positive. Oh, so I'm not doing this right. So that makes me more shameful. And now that I'm feeling shameful, this doesn't feel good. And I think I shouldn't feel shameful. So now I'm angry again, right? This is what we do. We're like, I shouldn't feel that. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't feel that. Yes? Yeah. All right. You guys get that? That compounding? Yes? We get ourselves in these spirals. The second one is the protective habitual emotion. This is an emotion that has become a habit or a way of doing. It can be modeled from our parents. Our parents use anger a lot, so we use anger a lot. Or it can be in response. It can be in response to avoid pain, to avoid triggers. We learn at a really young age that we can use emotions to avoid pain or to get what we want. So if we were made fun of as a young child, we learn quickly that anger feels a lot better than hurt. So we keep using anger every time that we were hurt. And when you keep using it, it becomes a habit. It's on autopilot at this point. We may learn that anxiety keeps us safe from bad choices or rejection. Maybe one time in our life, we felt too anxious to yell back at our parents, and we decided that anxiety keeps us safe from acting out. So we use it, right? This is the shy kid, right? Anxiety keeps me safe from others rejecting me. Or it prepares me for the future, it prepares me to know what's coming. We may learn that sadness keeps us from disappointment. If we don't ever expect anything good and we stay in negativity, then we never get to be disappointed. Cool, right? You guys get this? So the fix for this is to discover when you first learned the habit, discover a pinpoint when you first learned it or how you learned it, and then you get to reprogram the belief. Again, emotional regulation priming. And this is often what works really well is inner child work and healing here. This is what works really well for this. So then we have the trapped emotion. This is when you've been hurt or emotionally wounded by something or someone in the past, and the hurt, anger, sadness, anxiety, fear gets trapped in your body. This is generally trauma. And that trigger will come up for you anytime you think of that incident. Now, I want to say something about trauma. Often we think of trauma as the big T trauma, right? The abuse, the neglect. But often trauma can be very small. It can be something like, my sister always beats me in races and I'm not good enough. That's a trauma. It can be those bullies in 3rd grade who made fun of you. That can be like little T trauma, but it all sticks in our body just the same. It's like carrying around this bag of like all these little pebbles and big rocks of little traumas and big traumas, and we just carry it around with us all the time. The fix for this is to release the trapped emotion through specific journaling exercises, through energy psychology, through somatic experiencing, and emotional regulation priming again. And these are all things that I do in my programs with my clients. So, what is emotional regulation priming? It's using meditation, emotional skills, mind body exercises, somatic experiences, energy work to calm and bring more peace into your mind and body. Again, yeah, Sherry, go ahead and relax those shoulders for me. Okay, let's all do it. Everyone kind of like, oh, tense up their shoulders and then relax them. Oh, how good does that feel? All right, these are all things that I teach in my programs, including the Greatest Love Experience, my 6-month exclusive coaching program. But it's not something that we have a whole lot of time to do because it takes time. It takes some work, it takes some understanding, it takes some priming. So a lot of you indicated that you have trapped emotions, lots of past hurts from past relationships or even childhood. And you're also starting to see how much our beliefs, our past hurts, and our patterns are truly blocking love and amazing relationships from our lives. If you remember the 3 things that I've kind of been talking about that you need to create, that you need to do to change your relationship is 1, we have to reveal the underlying truth. We've done a little bit of that work, right? We started to understand why our partners are communicating the way they are. The second thing you have to do is you have to heal the heart. I can promise you almost 90% of your triggers of what's going on in your relationship is from the past. It's from the hurt. It's from the resentments. It's from how you learn to be in relationship, from the triggers of your childhood. 90%. And most people skip this part. They never do it. And they wonder why things don't change. This is why when you go to therapy or something, things change for a couple minutes, a month or 2 or 3, and then like a rubber band, it all snaps back because you didn't heal the underlying stuff. Okay? And then the third area is when you get to transform into greatness. You get to add passion. You get to add fun. You get to add even greater intimacy. You get to add dreaming together. Yeah. Most people want to start here. Most people want to start into this, like the 5 love languages, things like that. They try to start there, but it's like it's like watering weeds. We haven't picked up the weeds yet, and then we're going to start like throwing love languages on top of them. Doesn't work. You just grow bigger weeds. And maybe a flower will grow here and there, but you still have the weeds, and the weeds will take over the flowers eventually, right? All right. So unless we're rewiring our beliefs, unless we're changing the broken patterns and healing triggers or past emotions, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. So I teach you how to do, so I just gave you pretty much 3 fixes for the 3 types of emotions that we go through. So these are things that can't be done in a free environment like this because I need to be with you. I need to make sure you're not re-triggered. I need to make sure that you're in safety. I can't do that right here online, right? It wouldn't be ethical of me to do it. So I want you to notice it, and you can start to do some of the work yourself. You can start to process through this. Or if you really want to dive into it, I invite you to join me in my programs where I actually teach you and walk you through exactly how to do this. And teach you how to release this baggage, right? These past emotions. Inner child healing, we do a lot of that. And the neuro forgiveness technique that I created that actually helps you to release resentments and past hurts and rebuild relationships that maybe have been broken for you for a long time. Maybe father or mother or sister or family relationships or friend relationships, or maybe the relationship with yourself. It's a 5-step technique that can heal so much of that. It helps us to actually remove the emotion attached to the hurt. So for example, you could think about a past argument with your partner or a broken trust And if you had healed that piece, it would no longer cause the anxiety or hurt or anymore. Okay. How freeing is that feeling? Like, I really just imagine this bag full of hurts that you've been carrying around for 20, 30, 40 years. This heaviness. And probably you've been carrying around other people's, maybe your parents, because it's there's intergenerational trauma as well. So now you have like all the generations before you, you're carrying around theirs, then you're carrying around your own, and then you're in a relationship and you put your partners on top of that, and then you put your kids on top of that, and you're like, oh, so bogged down all the time. No wonder. No wonder this is going on, right? So, how freeing would it be to release these bags? Excuse me, I couldn't find the mute button in time. let me get a drink. How freeing would it be to release this emotional baggage? Okay. Yeah, the love languages are great for recognizing things. Right? But just using acts of service, if your husband only used acts of services, would that heal your whole relationship? If I only used words of affirmation, would that heal my whole relationship? No. It might make it better once it's good, right? It's gonna make it better once it's good. Those are the type of things that you get to plant once the garden is clear. Okay. So, another big challenge that continues to arise that I heard from a lot of you is I want to be able to communicate in this new way, but I'm so scared I'll be shut down or feel unloved if he doesn't like what I say. If I rock the boat, right? I want to feel safe to ask for what I need, emotionally safe. I want to share my thoughts or opinions without being told I disagree or being given advice or feeling judged or blamed or defensive. And so today I want to help remove some of these fears. And again, I always want to make this warning. If you have a fear of physical abuse by your partner or you've been physically abused by your partner, please drop this. Please leave this video and go to thehotline.org for resources. You need to get out. Okay? I need to make that super, super clear because that's not who this is for. I can't solve that. You need to get out first. That's it. Your safety is the first priority. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this communication. So it's a story I like to tell. I bought my husband a cup of chai tea from Starbucks. You guys love chai? I love chai. It's my favorite. And I really wanted this love of hot, cinnamony, spicy deliciousness. I wanted to share this love with him, right? So he took the cup from me and he's like, what did you get me? And he took a big chug and he's like, ugh, this is gross. This is disgusting. And I was like, how dare you not feel the same way I do about chai tea? Like, good, I'm offended. It's so good, and your feelings and your taste buds are wrong. Can't you just see my point of view and why I love it so much? You are not allowed to feel this way about chai tea. I can't believe you reacted in such a judgmental way. Are you guys getting this at all? I told him he's not allowed to have his feelings. I didn't say that. That would have been silly. But this is what we're doing with ourselves and our spouses in all types of situations. We're getting defensive because they don't feel the same way as we do. We're blaming them because their reaction isn't what we would want it to be or the same as ours. We're telling them how to feel and react so we can feel better about ourselves or so we can feel safer within ourselves. We're getting upset when they're getting upset. Can you see this? Can you understand this? Yeah, I love it. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's very... Yeah. This is a huge lack of internal and emotional boundaries. Boundaries is a line between what is yours and what is mine. This includes emotions as well. If he gets angry again, that's his emotion. It doesn't need to be yours. You are the only one responsible for your thoughts and feelings. Did I mess up somewhere? Oh, I didn't. I'm good. Okay. I thought I messed up. All right. So it's time. I'm going to talk a little bit about boundaries right now. We're going to go more into it tomorrow. But I think this is really important because again, I don't want to give you just enough information that you can mess it up. Okay. I want to give you enough information so that you can start to use it. So it's time to create your boundaries so you no longer fear his response, his judgment, his blame, his fear, or you fear disconnection. So here's what we do. Step 1, when you are the one speaking, you need to say to yourself, I have created what I'm saying and feeling. I am the only one responsible for my thoughts and feelings. I can even put that in the chat if anyone wants to copy this. Okay, this is from an amazing quote that I got from Pia Melody, who's codependency expert. All right. Step 2 is when he or your partner is talking, you say to yourself, she is responsible for what they're thinking and feeling. Then you listen carefully without judgment and only take in what is truth for you, and you filter out everything else. If I feel it's true for me, I take it in. If it's bullshit to me, I filter it out. It's still his truth, and that's fine. He gets to have that. If you find out what is being said is true, then allow yourself to feel it, accept it, and let it lead your actions. We talked about this a little bit. Like, my husband in the past, he would say, "Oh man, you're working too much," and I could get really defensive, and I could be like, "Screw you. I'm trying to do this and this," and instead I could be like, and the reason I got defensive because I knew it was true. So instead I was like, oh, yep, you're right, I am. I need to change that. Okay? But if I thought it was like BS, if I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I work a lot, but I don't think it's affecting anything, that's fine too. If I didn't believe it was true for me, then I let it bounce off my boundary into the abyss. No reason to address it. Great. He has his opinion. He likes chai tea. Cool. No biggie. Okay? Does this make sense? Butterbeer Frappuccino. I don't know. I have to try that. All right. You guys get this? Let it bounce off you. Almost like you're in a bubble. And you can let it bounce off you. If you're unsure if the information is true or false, then allow yourself to gather more information. Put it on a shelf. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Let me get back to you. Put it on the shelf for later. You don't need to react if you don't know what's true or false. You ever get in arguments with people who don't really have the facts? They're just kind of saying what they think everyone else is saying. They don't really have the facts, and you're like, it's not worth it. Don't be that person. Take the information, put it on a shelf, and do the work to figure out if it's true or false for you. Because remember, this is about your truth, which may be different from someone else. We all have different perspectives formed off our past, formed from our traumas, formed from our experiences, formed from our families, formed from our families, our families. Okay? So what may be true for you may not be true for me, and that's okay. And that's okay. So I'm going to share a secret communication formula with you in 1 second, but I want to share this poem with you that I found, and I just thought this was perfect for today. It's by Marshall B. Rosenberg. I can handle you telling me what I did or didn't do, and I can handle your interpretations, but please don't mix the two. If you want to confuse any issue, I can tell you how to do it. Mix together what I do with how you react to it. Tell me that you're disappointed with the unfinished chores you see, but calling me irresponsible is no way to motivate me. And tell me that you're feeling hurt when I say no to your advances, but calling me a frigid man won't increase your future chances. Yes, I can handle your telling me what I did or didn't do, and I can handle your interpretations, but please don't mix the two. And this leads perfectly into the secret communication formula. It's super simple, incredibly effective, and this will ensure that you say exactly what you mean each and every time without blame, without judgment, and taking full responsibility for your feelings. So this is a mix of something I borrowed from Terry Real, the author of Us and a number of other amazing books, and Pia Mellody. And it forces us to take responsibility for our feelings and start to understand the meaning behind them. Yeah, Laura, I'll go back into the group and post that poem. I love it. So this allows you to speak up in a way that's respectful and can be heard. And you must, though, let me give you a warning, this has to start from a place of love, from a place of wanting to connect, from a place of, I need to say this to this person I love in order to make things better for the us, for the you, for the me, for the us. Not to just say like, I feel angry and I need to tell you all about it, right? That's not what it's for. It's to create more connection. Because otherwise you can deal with your feelings. You can deal with your emotions. And I also want to always make sure your partner is available. Is this a good time? Do you have a couple of seconds? I don't know about you, but there's nothing worse if my husband comes in when I'm working and I'm like all enthralled in this and he's like, can I talk to you about something? I'm like, oh, give me 10 minutes, give me 15 minutes. Like I can't handle it right now, but yes, I do want to talk to you. So make sure it's a good time. All right, here it is. And I'm going to put this in the chat too. So as we talk about it, you can see it. All right. When such and such happened, very factual, very time-oriented, very specific. The meaning I give to it is, the meaning I made up is, I make myself feel, I am taking ownership of these feelings. And then a request, what would help me to feel better is. Okay, this is a super simple formula and there are ways that you can royally mess it up. So let me give you some of the to-dos and what not to-dos. You tell me what you think. Is this correct or incorrect? When you're being a complete jerk and never listen to me, the meaning I give to it is that you're an a-hole. I make myself feel mad and angry. It would make me feel better if you would stop being a careless and irresponsible child and actually pay attention to someone else other than yourself. Wonder why that wouldn't be received. What do you guys think? Is that the right way? No. I want you to notice too how this feels different when I'm saying it, how it feels different for you when I'm saying it. Okay? How you want to respond differently from what I just said. So the other day when we were talking and you gave me advice instead of really listening, the meaning I gave to it was that I'm not important and my feelings don't matter. I made myself feel really lonely and angry. It would really help us if you could just listen instead of giving advice until I ask for it. How does that feel? Doesn't that feel so different? If your partner came to you in that way, wouldn't you kind of, yeah, I want to do that for you. I'm going to try. Okay? Give you another example. You never do anything for me. You won't even take me to a movie. I make the meaning that you're a selfish prick who doesn't care for me. I make myself feel angry at you and I want to leave you and find someone else better all the time. I need you to stop being so selfish and start doing for me. Okay. Yeah. Let's try this. When we canceled plans for dinner the other night, I made the meaning that you don't like spending time with me anymore. I made myself really hurt and lonely and sad that we don't do fun things together anymore. I would love it if we could make some plans to go to a movie this weekend. Well, different. Don't you want to be like, oh yeah, sure. I'll make that movie date right now. Right? The incorrect statements put the blame on the other person. They use words like always and never and use thoughts rather than feelings. Okay. Here's a warning. I'll give you all the warnings. There's a couple warnings here. Because again, there's ways that you can mess this up, and I want to make sure you don't. This will not feel natural. It's not going to feel natural when you first start practicing and using the formula, and that's okay. It's okay. Our brain is a muscle, and the more we practice something and keep doing it, more natural and free flowing it becomes. Your partner may even feel that it's not natural. Here's what happens whenever we start to change any pattern in our relationship, whether it's our communication or the way of showing up. You're gonna remember that we talked about pulling that rope. Your partner's gonna be like, what's going on here? This feels manipulative. This feels, I don't know if I can trust this. What's going on? So they might pull on it a little bit. They might kind of like test it. They might try to get you back into balance of how you used to be. And that's okay. You have to stay consistent because this works if you stay consistent. I promise you. But you have to stay consistent. Okay? So, you want to know a perfect time to use this? No. Explain to your partner your disconnection cycle. I want to, again, warn you, do not tell him how he is feeling. No one likes to be told how they're feeling. Even when I work with my clients, I never tell them how they're feeling. I'm like, oh, yes, you are feeling angry about that. I don't say that. I say, is that anger or what is that feeling coming on? And I'm allowed to do that because I'm a trained therapist. I'm a trained neuropsychotherapist, and you're paying me to help you with that. But you can't do it to your partner, okay? Don't tell your partner how he's feeling. So here's how it goes. I've noticed that whenever I'm feeling disconnected from you, I make myself get angry and defensive. And I want to stop doing that. The meaning I make is when this happens, I feel disconnected from you. And when I make myself get angry or defensive, I'm actually trying to connect with you. Even though I might be seem like I'm pushing you away. So then think, what do you want? I want you to just understand that. It would help me if you could just understand that. Or maybe it would help if maybe when I do that and I do push you away, if you can understand that really it's about me trying to connect to you. Okay, I have one more warning about this. Use of sharing your feelings. These are the things, these are like the little nuanced things that a book doesn't tell you, right? Why you think you tried something and it didn't work, it just might take one little tweak to make it work. We have to stay in our adult brain. We have to stay in our healthy, loving adult. So when your child asks you for something and you say no, what do they do? What do they do? Cry, keep asking 50 times, they beg, they get angry, they storm off, they tell you they hate you. Oh, Mom, I can't believe you're not going to do that for me. You said no to me? How dare you? It's all I ever asked for. Yeah? I hate you. Have you ever seen this show up in your relationship? Be real. Hey, honey, can you do the dishes? Oh, I can't right now. I'll do them in 10 minutes. Oh, you never do anything for me. Do it now. I can't stand you. You're such a prick. You walk off under your breath like, that little prick. I can't understand why he can't do this. I do everything in this house and he can't even like wash the dishes when I ask him to. Oh my God, this is a mess. Right? His mom must have spoiled him so bad and now he just can't do anything to himself. So what happens? Great. We just did this amazing thing. We shared our feelings and then we expect our partner to just do whatever you said. But remember, they're going to be fighting against it a little bit, first off. So, here's the thing. Many times when you make the request in this way, they're going to do what you ask them, or at least a part of it, because they do want to make you happy. And they're glad you actually told them how to do it. So, but sometimes they may not be able to fulfill the full request, and that's okay too. You don't want to force them. And you can ask again in a couple of days. Appreciate what you get. Stay in your adult brain. You made the request, now you have to appreciate and let go of what you don't get. You used your voice, you stood in your power, and now the ball's in your partner's court. Don't hold on to resentment. He didn't do it. Just know that, oh, good for me. I made my request, and now I'm going to let it go. And even if like he does 15% of it, I'm going to celebrate that. For me, you have to keep doing this too. You have to keep asking, because you're asking them to change a habit overnight as well. So I call it planting seeds. I make small requests and bigger. And I often plant these seeds multiple times. Hey, when we got in that conversation last night, and I felt like you were really giving me advice, and it made me feel like you weren't really listening, and I made myself feel angry about that. So could you, in the future, just try to listen and not give me advice? And I've done that 20 times. And I still remind him sometimes. And that's okay. And he tries. He does try. And I take that every time he does. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not giving me advice this time. Okay? We hold too many expectations that our partners are going to change overnight, that they'll come along with you. But you have to be consistent. You have to stay in your space of love and healthy adults until they start to trust that change and start to be like, oh, I want some of that. You got it? This work is empowering. It's incredible work. And I want you to really focus on who you want to be, how you want to show up. What kind of person do you want to be? Not like I'm doing all of this so he'll change. I'm doing this to manipulate him into loving me again. That's not what this work is about. This is about becoming love, about becoming healed, about standing in your power, about showing your children what that looks like, about letting go of the intergenerational trauma, about mastering the skills of healthy love in relationships. And like I said, 90% of the time when you do this work, your partner is going to join you. But right now the focus is on who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? Do you only want to be kind, loving in your healthy space when everyone else around you is? Only when your partner's doing that? Or do you get to revert back to your child self and say, oh, he's being mean, so I'm going to be mean too. He hurt me, so I'll hurt him too. He's not doing the work, so I'm not going to do it either. He's unhappy, so I'll stay unhappy. He keeps staying in his childhood brain, so I'm going to stay in mine, right? It's a bad cycle. It won't get you anywhere in any place in your life. I can promise you that. And sometimes how we show up in one relationship is how we show up in many. So you need to be and how we show up in different areas of our life as well. So really think about that. Really think about that. Am I stepping into my own power and being who I want to be? Am I showing up as I want to be regardless of others around me? Am I being a leader or a follower? Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself. And decide what you want to do. Some of you might be asking, how do I handle my partner's whoosh or the emotional outburst, right? Your partner comes in from the house and they're like, I can't believe you didn't get the dishes done. I'm like, blah. And you're just, oh, that's their emotions. I can't handle this. The simple answer, set emotional boundaries. His emotion, you don't need to take it on. So I give you tons of resources for setting emotional boundaries, emotional priming regulation, so that you better control your emotions, your anger and resentments in my program, so you can stop kind of like throwing your emotions on everyone else. But when your partner's doing this, you get to have that protective and connected shield. That's what I like to call it. It's protecting you. The false things will bounce off you. Other emotions will bounce off you. But it's porous enough that it lets in the connection and the intimacy. But if it gets too much, if it's completely disrespectful, then a proper timeout will be needed. And I'm going to talk more about timeouts a little bit tomorrow, because it's another thing we do wrong. It's just one little tweak that we need to do. And for it to be effective, it has to be done correctly. Otherwise, your partner is going to feel like you're abandoning them. And you don't want that, because that causes more disconnection, less trust. Okay. So, I just want to look. Athena Awesome said, I asked for more emotional support and told him I'm feeling triggered a lot lately. He said I definitely work with me to heal. Woo! I love it. That's a win. That's a win. Okay. So we talked about some amazing things today. Handling the emotions and fear to change your disconnection cycle, the pattern reversal technique, the key to becoming the catalyst for change and why you can do it, the secret communication formula, how to change your partner's whoosh. It's a lot. Come back and look at it again if you want to. Like I said, I'm giving you what I can in these 5 days. And I know you would love the step-by-step process to reprogram your thoughts, to heal, to relinquish these fears, anxieties, resentments, and anger in your marriage. And so I do want to talk about that a little bit because we've already seen so many breakthroughs in just these 3.5 days at this point. I actually got a message. Well, we just heard from Athena right now. It's beautiful. And in fact, I got a message from another participant last night that she had a huge breakthrough with her husband during this challenge and a huge weight was lifted. Can you imagine what would happen if you continued to work with me directly for 6 months? How fun would that be? What type of breakthroughs do you think you would have? How much happier, more empowered, and in control of your life would you feel? How much more liberated would you be? How much better would your relationship be? How much freedom would you feel? How would it change the lives of your children forever? How amazing could this be? If you desire more, if you want an expert to walk you through these steps and get you the exponential results, then I'm going to be moving on to talk about the opportunity to work together because I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. I know some of you are ready for that. If you are already feeling complete today and you're confident that you can start making these changes on your own, that's fine too. I want to thank you for being here and we're going to see each other again tomorrow. But for those of you who are ready to step into this, who are ready for exponential growth, who are ready for big results, who are tired of sitting in the pain of disconnection, who are ready to do what it takes to get you from truly, to get you into creating your greatest love story. If you want to have easy conversations where you feel heard, understood, and loved, if you want to have a safe spot to land in your relationship, a partner who can support you and a partner with you and truly cherish you, if you want to set the example in the world and lead your children, the next generation, in a revolution of healing and love, if you are tired of feeling lonely and overwhelmed, if you want the healing, the deep inner peace, if you want to stop wasting your time in the muck, you need to learn the skills. This is the most incredible endeavor of your life. It's worth your time, your family, your happiness. So if you have a deep desire to create flourishing, abundant love and pleasure in all areas of your life, and you truly want to build a relationship that lifts you up and is full of authentic, intimate connection, then what I'm about to talk to you about might be for you. If you just want an okay relationship, this might not be the right program for you. There might be other programs that maybe are okay for that. My program is perfect though if you are like, I want to improve my communication and I want my husband to truly hear me and I want my partner to stop getting defensive and open up and I want to feel so good in my marriage that the weight of everything else seems easy and I want to love myself so much and show up in light and love and peace. And I want so much happiness and joy and inner peace that others are asking me what I've been doing different. And I want to feel pleasure again and feel sexy and beautiful again. And I want to give my kids the gift of a healthy and peaceful home. And I want a relationship so incredible that your whole life is elevated and expanded in ways that you never thought possible. So here it is, the Greatest Love Experience Program. That's what's going to do for you. It's a powerful, intensive program that is giving you all of the tools, all of the coaching, all the support, all the accountability that you need to create the greatest love story of your life. And it works. It's only for women. It's not for couples. It's only for women. It works even if your partner isn't ready yet. Okay. It's an upgrade to a program I've been running with tremendous results for almost a decade, and I continue to upgrade it and make it better every year. And since I've been running it, I'm proud of how the women and couples in the program have transformed quicker than they have ever thought possible. You can see in the group, you can see some case studies, some testimonials of women and couples who were literally about to sign divorce papers and who have now fallen back in love. Feel like they're teenagers again. Women who have rediscovered themselves and have more inner peace. Women who have released decades of anxiety in just an hour. Couples and women who have worked with therapists for a decade with no results and reignited their marriage in just a couple sessions with me. It goes way past better communication, way above improved connection. It's about a revolution, growth, and evolution at an unprecedented rate. We collapse time and create incredible transformation quickly. So I'm kind of like an alchemist. I have taken I'm so excited about this program. I'm excited about it for me. I'm excited about it for you. I'm excited for it about us because it's a ripple effect that can change lives. I've taken my 20 years of knowledge. I've spent almost $1 million in trainings and information to get the top skills. And I found the most powerful tools across the world in neuroscience, changing your brain at the root level, actually changing how you think and believe and feel permanently. That's going to help you. Relationship science skills and tools to make sure that you're using the right skills and tools that will give you the right results. Energetics that enable you to change the energy in your body to remove broken or distorted energy from your body and replace it with new, powerful, beautiful energy. The ones that others can feel from around you, and how to protect yourself from others' bad energy. And sometimes you might be thinking when we talk about energy, it's a little woo-woo. It's not. It's science. Think about an MRI machine, right? How do they collect those images? Through the energy in our body. How's this light on right now? How are you seeing me from across the world, maybe, on the internet? Energy. And we can change it. And the energy of love is up here. The energy of hate is down here. And I want to get you up here all the time. We understand polarities, understanding the feminine and the masculine, understanding our wounds and healing those inner child wounds, healing those traumas, creating that mind-body connection so you can believe and trust in yourself again and in your own decisions. You guys, it's such a powerful mix that it's still like my mind is still blown every day with the results of my clients who see quick results. I'm the kind of person, I'm the kind of woman who wants things done like yesterday, right? So I don't want to sit here and work with you for 2 years in therapy and talk about all your past, all these things. I want to like get you in and get you out. I want to get your results quick, and that's what we do together. I once heard, if you feel overwhelmed, then you need to let go of control and ask for help. If you want to hold on to control, then you get to hold on to the overwhelm. You can't have both control and freedom. My programs give you the help you need to gain more freedom, a lot more pleasure. And another thing it will do is connect you with extraordinary people and an amazing coach who will provide the soft spot for you to land until your partner's ready to take over. This is an incredible opportunity. I'm so excited for it. The it's called Greatest Love Experience Program. It's a 6-month program because the longer you make the container, the more time spent filling it. So if you have like 12 hours to complete a project, you'll probably take the full 12 hours. But if you give yourself 2 hours, you probably would get it done. So you only need 6 months to get results. You'll probably see results much quicker than that. But what I want you to do is take action in this program in a way that changes you and your relationship in really profound ways. Every other week, we have a live training where I'm going to show you how to reveal the broken patterns. I'm going to lead you through creating your personalized love blueprint, which this is the coolest thing I've ever created. It's life-changing for my clients. It's going to be amazing. It's like creating your own personalized map, and we can pinpoint exact patterns and what needs to be healed and transformed. So you don't have to like go digging around through the dark and like shine a light on, oh, here it is. This is what we need to change. So I show you how to get rid of these patterns and create new healthy patterns. I walk you through healing the broken patterns and provide you with meditations, energy healings, hypnosis, guided imageries, inner child healing, built specifically for you. What I'm really excited about is because I don't want overwhelm. So I'm going to give you the 20% that's going to give you the 80% of results. So I'm not going to overwhelm you with too much. I'm going to guide you through step by step. One thing I'm really excited about is we just added a healing session once a month. So where you get to implement and practice what you learn, you get to ask questions, you get personal coaching from me. But we do the healing together every month in the group, because what studies are showing is that the energy, the healing actually compounds, and the healing becomes that much more powerful when you do it as a group. Have you ever heard people who have a lot of visitors when they're in the hospital heal much quicker? It's the same type of thing. Same type of thing as that, the healing energy. So I believe you can only know once you do, and that's why we'll be doing this together. So in between sessions, you'll receive journal prompts to help you dig deeper, healing, and then it's 6 months of live trainings, coaching, implementation, and the most powerful tools in the relationship healing world, with an option to re-enroll monthly for your continued growth. So I've never been more proud or more excited for anything. And what I love about it, it's going to create a lot of excitement, fun, pleasure in your relationship. It's one of those programs that will absolutely be the turning point in your life. You will evolve and create the most passionate and pleasurable love and life. And it includes everything that you need. There's no stone unturned here. The possibilities for you, for your relationship, your family are endless, and it's a beautiful place to be. So this program is going to continue to grow. As I evolve, it's going to evolve. As you evolve, it will evolve. As we evolve, it will evolve. And I'm going to be adding more. So with that, so will the price evolve. So the Greatest Love experience right now is a 6-month program. You get live coaching in a small group setting 2 to 3 times per month. These are small groups because you deserve that attention. It's not one of those things that you sit in the background and hope your question gets answered. You will get coached by me. You will receive breakthroughs and transformations like you've never experienced. One of my favorite things about this is a high vibe, healing, and powerful community. The women, this group of women I truly, genuinely love. And there's so much love between them, and you get to be part of that, because we can't do this work alone. And this is one of my favorite parts of the program. You know, just last night, we shared huge wins in the group. I think all of us cried tears of joy, tears of compassion. We laughed, we healed, we celebrated. It's my favorite part of the week. It's going to start to become your favorite part of the week. So you're going to get at least 9 modules that are going to walk you through revealing the root cause of your relationship challenges, healing your inner child, healing resentments, and how to transform into passion. You receive a monthly healing live session with me, as well as the 2 to 3 group sessions. And you get the full love blueprint assessment that's going to show you your exact relationship patterns and point you to the exact processes you need to follow to move into love and into relational health. It's groundbreaking. Again, I'm excited about a lot here. I'm so excited. I've created this, and I've created this for you, and the excitement of the transformation that it's going to create for all of us. So there's nothing else out there in this world, that's going to give you as much clarity and depth as this assessment I put together for you. And I'm, again, adding and elevating as we go to your needs, to your desires. I'm really excited about this for you, for me, for us. And this is the next level of creating the greatest love story. This is the next level of becoming and being the greatest love and bringing your partner on the journey with you. So here's the deal. It's $4,440, $44 right now. And this is for anyone who, I want to do something special. For anyone who's here, who's in the communication challenge, what I'm doing for you here, I'm giving you a $1,447 credit towards this program. Yes. Okay. $1,447 credit towards this program. The credit is only available for the next couple of weeks. And if the price goes up or the program fills up, the credit will be good, but it will be based on the new price. Or you'll have to be on a wait list to join. So if you are really excited about this, if you're like, hell yes, I just want to do it, and you're one of the first 5 clients who joined. Okay. Sorry, I had 2 enroll yesterday. So one of the first 3 clients who joins me, then you get free Voxer text support from me for like 30 days. It's like having me in your back pocket. And then the next 3 who join, who pay in full, will actually receive a half-day private VIP session with me. This alone is worth $2,000. So it's an incredible value. So now, if you decide later you want to upgrade to private coaching, and when I open up spaces, because they're sold out right now, you can use the credit towards that as well. So if you buy the Greatest Love Experience and you decide you want to upgrade to private coaching, we'll just use that towards the private coaching at the 4444, even though you only paid $2,997 for it. So if you want to buy, if you're ready, if you want to buy the Greatest Love Experience right now, I'm going to put the link in the chat for you. Okay. Let me know if that doesn't work. That should work. It is, it's a pre-release of the program, so it doesn't actually begin until mid-October, but we're enrolling now, and that's why the price is what it is. The Voxer, the sport though, will begin as soon as you enroll, and you can start joining the group coaching calls. Tuesday will be our next one. You can start joining those. So it's like getting a month of group coaching for free. Plus, I'm going to surprise you with some awesome bonuses that you can start working on immediately while you're waiting. Again, this is only for people inside of this challenge right now. So this will be the price for at least 2 weeks or until sold out. But so if you are ready and you are trusting your instincts and you understand your worthiness and you're ready to go, let's do this. Go ahead, click the button, choose the best payment plan for you. And if you have some questions, send me a message on Facebook or email me and I'll answer those for you. So take advantage of this, because the price right now, 4444, until I launch in a couple of weeks on my personal page. And then you can use your credit of $1,447. So it'd be $2,997, and payment plans are available, and I actually made them. Usually it would just be a 5 or 6 month payment plan, but since it's not starting until October, I'm giving you a 7-month option as well. So that makes it a little bit easier. So now there's also a new program coming, and this is for you who maybe aren't ready to step into the full Greatest Love Experience yet, but know that you want to continue this journey with me, that you've gotten a lot out of this, that you've already started to see changes, and you don't want to stop the momentum. And it's called the Love Code. It's about becoming love and receiving love. It's really about the worthiness, about showing up as love. It's 5 live modules that will take you to the optimal level of magnetic attraction, living in the energy of love for yourself and for others around you. It's about bringing that love to you and showing up. So I don't even actually have an invitation, a sales page for you yet. So you'll have to just trust me when I say it's going to be incredible. It's going to start on September 28th, and we're going to do the 5 modules over about 7 or 8 days. So it's going to be intensive. They'll be about an hour and a half each. They'll be live, but you'll have access to the replays. And I'll probably have some bonus Q&As or maybe some bonus coaching. I don't know yet. So this is really like, if this is the next step, if you're not ready to go all in with the Greatest Love Experience, but you want to continue this work, if you want to continue this transformation, and you've gotten a lot from this already, I'm really excited about this too. This program is $222 right now today, and it's going to go up to $555. Okay, so it will probably go up to $333, and then it's going to go up to $555. So $222 set. So today is the time to jump in, but I don't even have a page for you to visit. So you just have to know that this is the work you're ready to do and that you want to continue in this journey. So all you have to do though is just message me, and I'll send you a link to sign up with a couple of details. Again, this is $222 now, but it's going to be going up to $555. Okay. So yes, definitely want to do it. Yes. Sounds like a need and a want and a desire. Sounds great. Awesome. All right. So I just want to make sure you guys are clear. So you already know, maybe some of you already know, your ready for the greatest love experience, you're ready to fully step in, you're the all in kind of person, you're ready to fully step into the transformation of creating your greatest love story, and you're the type of woman who goes full in, and you're as excited as I am, I would love to deepen this work for you. And if it feels aligned, if you desire deep change and you want it now, you don't want to sit in the pain or hurt anymore, then I would love to give you this 1447 credit, and let's do this, okay? Hit the link, let's sign up, let's go. And if you want to continue, but you kind of want to continue to dip your toe in a little bit more, trust a little bit more, learn the energetics and the code of becoming love and receiving love, you want to take just a step or two, that's great too. Come join us in the love code. Just message me, I'll send you the link, that's 222. These are life-changing programs, life-changing transformative programs. And if you purchase the Greatest Love Experience, you actually get the love code as part of that, as a bonus. So you get that for free. If you purchase the love code, the 222, and you decide to upgrade to the Greatest Love Experience, you can use that 222 credit towards the Greatest Love Experience plus the 1447. So it's at 1667 towards the Greatest Love Experience. So this is what I want you to know about this investment. If you already know you want in, like, I'm so excited, I want it now, let's do this, Val. That's cool. It's easy. It's simple. No reason to be confused or overthink it. Just trust your gut. You get to say, hey, I've got a $1,447 credit. This is the lowest price it's ever going to be, so I'm going to buy it. That's it. We're done. Maybe you don't know yet that you want to do any of this, and that's fine too. There's no pressure. There's no stress. You'll have until the end of next week before the prices go up for either. So I don't want you to feel any stress or nerves right now. It's not how I roll. There's time, and I'm going to talk to you more about it, and more exciting bonuses will be released and more details as we go, so it's okay. I want you to buy from excitement, from desire, from wanting change right now, from a knowing that this is right for you, and knowing that you'll get any additional bonuses as I add as the week goes on, and that you've locked in the lowest possible investment price. I want you to buy from this place. I don't want people in my group who were kind of like low vibe, like it felt like too much for them. They weren't sure about it. I want high vibe in the group. That's how we keep the energy high. Okay? That you know you're there to do the work and you're good with that investment. So buy from that place. Know from desire, from wanting change, from wanting the very best, from knowing this is a program that will absolutely change your life, your partner's life, and your children's lives forever. Okay. The 222 will probably be available until the end of next week, I think. So for the Greatest Love Experience, again, 4444 right now, and you have a 1447 credit for a couple weeks. The price will be going up to $5,555 in mid to late October, and you can still use your credit, but it will cost you $3,997 instead of $2,997. And I'm not sure if the love code will be available now because that's a live program. And there are payment plans for the Greatest Love Experience. So right now you have 2 weeks to get in. If you get in now, you get the extra support, an additional month of group coaching, surprise bonuses, and your price is locked in. If you aren't ready for the Greatest Love Experience, but you want to continue this work, then come to the love code, the live short program, that's 222. And when you're ready to upgrade, I will add that 222 to the credit for the Greatest Love Experience. I hope this all makes sense. I know a lot of numbers flying around. I'll put this in a post later. If you aren't ready for the greatest, I already said that. So there it is. If you're ready to step into this, I would love to have you. Either program, wherever you are right now, that's perfect. If you have questions, just send me an email or shoot me a message, friend me on Facebook, shoot me a message, and because you can already start seeing the messages in the group from some of the amazing women who have stepped into the Greatest Love Experience, who are really excited for it, and that's incredibly exciting. I'm so excited for that. So, again, for the love program, you do have to, the love code, the shorter, the 5-day experience, the 5-day program, the live one, I don't even have a link for it yet, so you have to email me or message me and I'll get the link to you. There we are. Okay. Any questions? How long are you offering the 222? That will be available for next week or two. What did I say? 2 weeks? The end of next week. So same time these videos go down, that goes down. And it will go up to 555. All right. Okay, guys, I can't wait for tomorrow. We're wrapping it up. We're diving into boundaries, resentments, and breaking free of some blocks that might be holding you back right now from creating your greatest love story. So you're going to want to show up. You're going to want to round it off with power, end with power. Likely it won't be the end. Likely I'll add some bonus. We'll see. Definitely a Q&A at the very least. So start thinking about those questions. Start thinking about those blocks for yourself. Sending love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.